Hey guys, what's up? It's Blender3d Animator with my first redone Blender3d tutorial. Um, if this is the first tutorial you've seen by me, I have original tutorials that are lower quality, and I didn't have too much experience with Blender. These tutorials are going to be in HD, as you can most likely tell, and are going to explain things much more thoroughly and better. Well, pretty similar things, but whatever. So, if this is the first time you've watched my tutorials, let's get started on navigating through Blender. This tutorial is going to show you how to basically navigate through Blender, get used to certain controls, know the menus, etc. So let's get started. So first thing that you're going to notice is a lot of menu icons. There's a lot. It's kind of intimidating. Try not to be intimidated. It's a lot, but it's not very difficult to learn. So you're gonna want to learn how to create some new Blender files. So everything, as if every other program, is file. So you go to File, you can create your new Blender files. Open recent. You get a little menu of recent projects you've been working on. If Blender recover the last session. If Blender crashes and you didn't save your work, sometimes you can recover it. Saving compressed file just makes your file smaller. I wouldn't recommend doing it. It can sometimes decrease the quality of certain things, and it gets messed up. It gets weird. Everything else more advanced. Don't need to really worry about that. The add timeline you don't really use too much up here anyway. You don't. Game you can use every once in a while. These are material settings for the game. That's how to start the game engine. You'll see the screen just went into game mode. Nothing happens because there's nothing set. But you can have it so that it shows frame rate. And the shortcut to playing the game is P, so I get like 40 frames per second with nothing there. So that's a problem because my laptop's being slow lately. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold. Up here are different types of menus. You have your animation menu, your model menu, material menu, sequence, and scripting. I think if you hold shift, I forget what the shortcut is. Alright, it's control and left and right on the numpad. Oh, I broke it. Just kidding. So, model is what you'll be using the most. So, if you click on a black line between two toolbars and drag, you can change the size of it. So I'm going to minimize that a little bit. Here's your 3D view. If you left click and let go, you kind of drag this square around. You're like, oh, I just broke it. And you left click again. And now you want it back in the middle. You're like, oh, I'm screwed. I gotta... Oh, that's probably... You're not going to get the perfect center. So Control Z to undo both of those. And what you do is if you accidentally grab something by left clicking and dragging and messing it up, to cancel something, you just right click and it goes back. If you just left click anywhere around, it'll set a spawn point for new items. So I'll explain that in a minute. This little guy right here is a lamp for a rendering. Rendering's under here. Forgot to explain this menu. Basically, you just render current frames, which gives you a final look of... That's what's currently on our scene, is this cube there with the blue background. So the lamp adjusts, obviously where the lights are. And this little guy that you can barely see down here, if you scroll, you can zoom out. It's a camera. That's how you tell what's going to be rendered. So now let's figure out how to actually move things correctly. To move an object, you press G after you select it by right-clicking it. To select your objects, you need to right-click. Left-clicking doesn't select them. You gotta right-click. Alright. So after you have selected an item, you can edit certain things with it. You can drag G for grab, S for size. Those are your two main ones. Now you want to rotate so you can actually see what's 3D. So you hold Alt, left click, and drag. So now you're like, whoa, we have this like grid. If I zoom out, it's like a flat grid. Our cube, camera, and lamp. So it's pretty neat. Let's check out these menus down here now. So you kind of can navigate through here. Say like, oh, I want to move this cube over here, make it big. Woohoo! I'm awesome. Alright, so down here we have our menus or panels or whatever you want to call them. Logic right here is for games. More advanced stuff. Scripting, the most advanced. I hate it, can't stand it. Really hard. Here's our materials tab. You'll use this a lot. This basically changes the colors of objects. It gives them certain properties, so you can make them reflective, transparent, etc. Okay. So what we can do is change the color of our cube. So make sure you have your cube selected, and here's how you change your colors. You can either adjust your RGB sliders here, or you can left click on this little square or rectangle next to the color, and you can change the color by dragging down here and adjusting the brightness. So I'm going to make it like a orangish. Excuse me, I yawned. That's like the basic thing you'll use. You also use Remake. You can see over here, here's a preview. You can make it a plane, a cube, monkey, hair, and a sphere with alpha background. Oh, that's just, I don't even know, it doesn't work right. Oh, that uses oversampling. That'll take the little pixels out, like the sharp edges it'll take away. So see, it's pretty nice right there, and if I unclick this, you can kind of see it gets all jagged. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So you can also make things transparent. That's how distorted it gets. Fresnel, you increase it, kind of makes it transparent. If you turn the index of refraction down, you can see slowly increasing it. Basically distorts the image that you see through it. If you have something transparent and you decrease the alpha, it just evenly makes it transparent, instead of using this Fresnel thing where it like gets transparent in the middle and then there's a bright orange ring around the outside. It gets stupid. Whoops. So that's a little bit of materials. But these tabs you don't really need to know about yet. I'm just showing you guys the basics. This is the object tab. A little bit more advanced stuff. Probably don't need to get into it. There's 3 secondary tabs under here. These are the objects buttons right here. This is physics tab here. You can make certain fields and collisions. You can make cloth, soft bodies, and fluids. Cloth and soft body are basically the same thing, except cloth has like real presets like leather, rubber, etc. You can add particles here. So I'm gonna lower that down, and we have a few menus down here. You can have preset views, so you can view the side, front. Let me just check my time. Alright. I have about 30 seconds left, so let me show you the main thing that you need to use. This right here, you can go into edit mode. You use edit mode a lot. I'll explain that in our next tutorial, but this is basically navigating through Blender. I really have very little time left. I'm going to keep this up. But this allows you to edit your mesh. So go back out of edit mode. Bam! My cube is retarded. Tab is the shortcut. I kind of ran out of time. I apologize for that. See you guys later.